Hello everybody. So after the last video, I decided to do some things off camera because I needed to find a cable to connect my Pixel to my computer so that I could try and test things on a device and see if anything was different. And it turns out that I really didn't need to use my device. I was able to do things through my simulator. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then feel free to check out the last video so that you get all the context about what exactly is going on in my app. And yeah, hopefully you learn a little bit more. Hopefully you catch up to speed and this all makes more sense. So if you don't know me, welcome to the channel. My name is Joemer. I'm a Google software engineer, and I am making a productivity mobile app completely unrelated to my company. Um, Hopefully you guys can learn more in this video. And yeah, to pick up where we left off, we were trying to get a list of installed apps, and the problem that we've been getting for the past 2 or 3 videos was we were getting a list of apps of every single app. So it wasn't just installed apps from the user, but installed apps from when you have a default system app or when the system installs a service app. And all of these are showing up, and you could see this in a bunch of the past videos, and I was really close to just slamming my head against the table. And eventually, I turned to my best friends, Stack Overflow, and GitHub. So Stack Overflow didn't help me this time, and so I started looking at some open source repos, and I started to try and see what other people did to figure this out. And I came across this plugin that someone was doing specifically for Android. My app's a little bit different because I'm currently trying to bridge Android and iOS, but for now I'm working on Android. So this solution that I found, it works perfectly for the Android portion of my app. And so what it pretty much does is it looks at these flags that are set in an application package or an application info object, and it uses an AND operator, a bitwise AND operator, and mixes it with some other flags. So what it essentially is doing is it is matching the application flags that are in a specific installed app, and it's seeing if it's the same as a package or an app that is both part of the system or are installed by the system and is also seen as an updated system app, which is what this line highlighted is doing. So with this combined, you can go through all the apps, and you can just filter by it and check if it's a system app. And I tried this initially. I tried this like sessions ago, but the problem, which is something that I came across last video, was that I was just refreshing my app. I was just pressing this green restart button, not refreshing, restarting. Sorry, refreshing is hitting the yellow flash button next to the green button. But I was pressing restart, and restart for some reason in Flutter doesn't reload Android level code. And I think the reason why it doesn't do that is because maybe that Android folder or the Android specific files are being built before the Flutter app is built. So it's kind of like, here's Android stuff and here's Flutter stuff. And so maybe the reason why why Android code doesn't get updated is because when we're restarting, we're in this layer right here. And even though we're changing things on the bottom, like in a layer underneath Flutter, it doesn't matter if we restart as many times, right? So that's that. Hopefully that demonstration with my hands was enough to explain it. And pretty much I was trying to restart, and I was trying all these different methods for like 2 hours. And I just wasn't, I wasn't properly restarting the app and building with the new Android files. So eventually I did a whole circle, came back around, and I ended up trying something, now knowing the difference between restarting the app and refreshing it. And lo and behold, it worked. So you can see through the app now, there's only two things in the list right now, and these are the installed apps that we have. One is Hello World from when I was first learning Flutter, which is very surprising. And the other one is our Focus Up app. So yeah, we were able to do it, and I wish that I recorded it, but I was just so focused on the work, and I stopped hitting record that I didn't want to leave my flow state, and I was just like, yes, yeah, but that's okay. I'm sure that I'll have many moments or many more moments to do that, but we're gonna continue moving on with this. We're gonna now that we have a nice list of installed apps, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to clean up the code because I left things in a really bad state in my Kotlin files. So don't judge me for it being really ugly. But also I just realized my Android Studio is outdated. It's at 2022. So I have to fix that as well. That might be one of the reasons why my Android Studio is giving me so many issues, actually. So I might update that after this recording, but for now, we are going to move on. And I've been working on this project, this part of the project for so long that I forgot what I was doing. So we're gonna try to clean up this code and then figure out what we're gonna do next. So first things first, we're gonna clean this up. And this is a new usage stats. I'm pretty sure that I can just ignore this or clean it out since we don't need it anymore. And actually what we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna take this for now. We're gonna do date of year, we're gonna do interval -5. So initially I had this as interval daily, but I think I'm gonna do interval best for now. And we're gonna close out the app, completely restart it. And I think I might have broke my emulator. Nope, it's okay. It survived this time. And while that's loading, we're going to clean this all up now that we have a function that works. So we tried a bunch of other things, like making a list of non-system apps. That didn't really work as well. So I'm just going to clean this up. Just actually, before I clean this up, just going to show this code for a little bit so you can maybe screenshot it or take the code for yourself. These are some helper methods that I did. I made a method for allow listing an app and checking that, and I also made one for getting non-system app lists. This didn't work for me, but maybe this might work for you. There's a little bit more here towards the end of this for setting a package manager application info flag. You need to state the flag and then you have to convert it to a long because this is an integer. And so I don't really understand why they did that, but I am not a Android developer, so we're going to clean up this code and we're going to continue moving on. So let's see here, give some space here. This is now our usage stats, so we're going to, I don't think we need this anymore. No, we don't need this anymore. This is also very dangerous because I know this works now, but I didn't commit any of these changes so far. So things are just very local right now. I didn't even commit these changes, so do not follow my example here, or at least with this particular thing that I'm doing. Just make sure that you're committing, make sure that you're saving things incrementally. And I'm sure, like, I think after I get through this and I send this commit in, I will be better about properly committing things and having good commit practices. But for now, I am just really focused on getting things working. So I just really don't want to think about all of the proper practices. But don't be don't be me in that regard. So okay, I think I cleaned this all up, and the only thing that's left is I have this bitwise mask variable. I actually don't know what this ends up being. I think this ends up being an integer. Yeah, I think this is an integer. But I'm wondering, I don't think I use this anywhere else for now, so I'll just make this a I'll just make this a local variable, and we'll make it a constant global variable if we eventually need it in other places. But cool. That gives us a list, and now we have to figure out well, first let me just close this. Let me run it again and see that it works. And if it works, the next thing that we have to do is we should probably go back to fixing the UI. We can finally go back to working in Flutter. So I think the next thing that we have to do is we need to get the check marks working. These check marks here, we have to figure out a way to make them selectable. Yeah, we have to find a way to... I also don't like this color right now, right here, this lower button. So I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah. Maybe I should also... I'm wondering if I should have more things in the list to test, but I think 2 should be fine for now. Yeah, 2 should be fine. Okay, cool. And I think the next thing we want to do is, yeah, let's just start with that. So let's start with tapping the button and making this circle a check mark. So this is similar to, not this, similar to this menu, where if there's a circle here, it turns into a check mark. I think, yeah, I think I want it to be a check mark. Oh, I think that's a bug too, that pressing this button doesn't select this, but I don't know yet. I think this menu was made like very late. So it's not to the best practices, but I think for now, selectable checkmark is okay. Like changing it to a selectable checkmark, and also we need to make sure that we keep track of what apps are being selected. Okay. So we have to keep track of what apps are being selected. So the next thing we need to do is we need to keep track of the apps that we blocked, which means that we need a blocked app list, which means that we're probably going to be needing it in different areas of the app. For example, we'll be needing a list of blocked apps in our unblocked app list so whatever we block in this app, we want it to populate here. So let's see. Okay. I'm trying to think, because when we have a blocked list, we want it to be essentially a sublist of our app list, right? So that means that it's going to be of a list of the representation of apps, which is map string, which makes me also think that maybe I should be creating an app object, like an app object, and this should be a list of apps. You know what I mean? If it's an app list, it should be list class object map. Like, yeah. So here's the thing. If we made an app object, right? Like for example, if I did whatever class app, and we had, package, or I'm gonna end up making the entire class, but if we have string package name and we have string icon bits and we have string, what else is there? Usage time, right? Then in order to convert this, we would have to convert a list of objects into a map, and then we would have to take that map and convert it into an app, right? Yes, because after we make it a map string, we want to make it into this class that represents these things. I'm just trying to think because okay, so here's the problem. The current list that we have right now, the thing that is in this app, this list is being pulled from the device or the simulator in this case. So this is not pulled in from our local cache. This is information that we can get from the device. The blocked app list is something that's going to come from our application, or it's going to come from somewhere where we save the information. It's not going to come from the local device. Like, it's not going to be information that we can pull. It has to be information that we save. So if we were to save this into local cache, we would need this to be along the same logic as our personal profile class objects. So for example, we have this class that has a hash map, and this hash map is converted into a JSON object. Yes, and the JSON object is a string, comma, dynamic. Oh, well, if it's a string, comma, dynamic, then if it's a string, comma, dynamic, yes, we wouldn't want to. Yeah, we wouldn't. I don't think we would want to keep this as this object, because converting this into a JSON object is going to be hard. Well, I guess it's going to be similarly as hard whether we convert it into a map string or if we have this nice class here. But I think that the class, like the extra class object, might be a good way of saving the information. Like, it seems nicer, right? To be able to see this rather than having to reach into It kind of feels like the same thing. It kind of feels very similar. Like, so pretty much what I'm thinking is creating this class object might be a lot of work to maintain. And right now we already have helper functions that does everything. And so what would be the cons of saving, let's say, something where there's no, map string blocked app list, for example. The cons of it is that it doesn't look that clean. And also, every time that we reached into a blocked app list, we would also need to use these methods in order to get the icon. Pretty similar, a little bit longer to type get app icon at index rather than app dot, app square brace well, let me write it. I had so it's comparing this to, I guess, locked app list I dot get icon, like get app icon at index I, something like that, It is longer. I'm just trying to think if it's worth it. I think it is. I think it is because eventually I think it's worth it to make the investment because we're eventually going to have to save this blocked app list into our personal profile. And when we do that, I think it would be easier to reach into everything if everything is mapped out and we don't have to remember all these small little pieces to remember, like remembering that we need to have get app icon at index. On top of that, this helper method would have to go somewhere else. It would have to go in a util file because right now it's a part of our focus page model object, and we would have to do something similar to, like, once this model gets updated, we would have to do blocked app list equals main page model dot blocked app list or something like that. And we would have to pull this main page it would have to be like personal profile dot blocked app list. Yeah, that's something that I'm thinking of as well. If I have a blocked app list, how am I supposed to bring it in? Well, I would bring it in through the main model, right? So wouldn't... Okay. Let's roll it back a little bit. Main model has a user profile, and that user profile is going to have our blocked app list. And our blocked app list is going to be what handles knowing which apps are blocked and which ones aren't. So if that's the case, then we should have an app class, and that way we can convert this app list into, or the class object of map string, we can convert that into an app. And then we can also add conversion utility methods in the class app object, so that we can convert it here in focus page model, and we can also convert it to a JSON object in this main model here, or well, technically in the personal profile, because it's going to be saved eventually. I think that makes sense, because that way we wouldn't have to care about where we're going to put these helper methods. And it would keep everything in one place. And this is generally the correct practice if we're going to have a class object that's going to be an object that's going to be used in more than two places. So the app class object is going to be used in focus page model. It's going to be used in the personal profile, which is going to essentially represent our local cache. And then it's also probably going to be used through grabbing its class properties in a bunch of different widgets like the blocked app page. Yes. So the next question is, where are we going to have this app? Where are we going to have this app class object? And I think it should be, oh, this is a hard one. Where are we going to have the app class object? I think we should put it in here. And we should have this be personal blocked app list, maybe. But this is going to represent our blocked app, and it's not going to represent our app class object. And I don't want our app object to be there as well. I think I'll put it in here. I think this will be our first profile class. So we'll have profile app.dart. I think this makes sense. The app is going to be used in a bunch of different places, or the app object is going to be used in a bunch of different places. It's mainly related to the profile. Profile app. Does that make sense? Does that name make sense? Profile app. It's kind of hard for me to tell. I don't really know. It's definitely not personal app. And I don't think it belongs anywhere else. Yeah, I don't think it belongs anywhere else. And let's put it here. So enough dilly-dallying. And we're going to start moving things out of the focus page, because all of these are going to be all of this is super important for the profile app here. So we'll do something like this. Let's see. do I do for a personal profile? Do I just set things equal to blank? Where is it? Okay, I set them to default values, so I guess I'll just set these to be defaults. All right, we're gonna start porting some things over here. We're also gonna, let's also give it a comment. This class represents apps brought into represents an app that was installed by a user or and or represents imported app data from a mobile device. And we'll say iOS and Android for now. Hopefully, by the time we're done bridging everything, we'll be able to map everything so that Android apps and iOS apps have a similar enough structure where we can use a bridge class object here called profile app. And that way we wouldn't have to have two different class objects, one for iOS apps that are installed and one for Android apps. At least that's the hope. So the first thing that we have to do here, let's see, app icon. Okay, so this is going to be our whole conversion method. And we're going to say, let's see. The goal here is to take an object list and convert it into app objects here. So let's see here. After we do that, do this, and that cleans up the, oh, whoops. Wait, where is this? Oh, I see. This returns a map. So, okay. Let's not return something because, okay. This doesn't belong here. This is a map list, so this should be in this class personal block app list, and this should be in here. Why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? What the heck? Why are you still complaining? You're so weird. Oh, I must have not copied everything actually. So it's probably not weird. So this is going to be like this, and we're going to have a map, or we're going to have a list of profile app app list equals, I don't know, this in the beginning. And I hate how it always references the package because we don't want that. Just want personal dot oops dot profile Wait, from this point, we want it to be dot dot. Okay, why are you fighting me on this? Slash profile. Oh, whoops. That's why. Let me do this just to make sure that this works, because personal dot. No, I was right. Dot dot slash profile. Where are you? Profile app. Oh, whoops. I had the wrong directory. So this shouldn't be dot dot slash profile because we exit back to profile. So, okay. So here we have profile app, and this is going to be the blocked app list. And what we want to convert this to is we want this to be the function of creating the list. So let's say convert to app list. This is the blocked app list. So that's not what's represented here. What's represented here, I didn't delete anything here, did I? Okay, I didn't. This represents an object that needs to be converted into an app list. So this does belong here, right? This belongs, no. This belongs here. Because in this profile app, there should be something that converts. There should be something that converts. It should be here. It should be right here. It should be outside the app, but it should be included in the app file. Because we don't want to convert a list within the profile app class object, but we do want a helper function that is related to profile app. Yes. And the reason we want that is because we want a bunch of helper functions that are going to help us with converting the app into different formats. Right? No. All we care about in this profile app file is how we're going to convert a profile app into a JSON object, and we shouldn't care about anything else besides that. This, which is used only for when we pull the app in, because we're never going to convert a map string ever again. Okay, so pretty much I was just doing a bunch of work, or not for nothing, but this just stays here. This stays here, and the only thing we need to do is we need to convert. Let's do this. Let's say like new app list, right? And let's do like app or profile. That, I hate when it does this. Okay. Dot slash profile. Okay, cool. And now that this is a profile app, we want to have a similar function here called convert, or format to profile app, maybe. Format to profile app, and then this is going to convert things into like a list, map, string. Why are you fighting me? What's happening? Oh, it's looking for map list equals something like this. And then we want map list to equal this, or we want map list to equal, or we just want this. We can do this, and then we can say if map list dot is empty, I don't know, return this. No, we don't have to do that. We can just say if map list dot is not empty, and we can do our conversion in here. Yes, we can say list profile app, app list. How do you iterate through a map? This is already iterating through a map over here. So if it's a map, instead of doing cache string, can't we just do key value pairs? How do we do this? So if it's map object dot you do for each. Yeah. Okay, so actually, in that case, instead of converting this into some weird thing, we can just do this here. We can just say, we can do okay, we need to wipe that out. And we need to do something like for for object in object list or yeah, because we want to check, I think we still want to check if it's a map, even though we know it's going to be a map. This makes it so that object is seen as a map here. And then we could say object dot for each key value. And we can say applist dot add. And we can say profile app is equal to profile app. This. And How do we want to do this? Okay. How do we map a we have to map how to map a Flutter, how to map a uh, property or a class property or class variable to a hash map key value. I mean, we converted plenty of hash maps before, right? Like, what did we do? Map entry equals okay, that's not fair. To hash map. Oh boy. Okay. So the way we do this is okay. The way we do this is we have another map that is paired to a key value, and that gets used to set the values. Yes. Okay. So what we do is we have a from JSON, and the from JSON is a map string comma dynamic, and then that converts it over to that converts whatever is in here to that value. Okay, so, and that also helps it out because it also converts it later on in our personal profile. So, package name. Do you want to call it icon bits? Let's call it icon bitstream. Do we want it to be called icon bitstream? Yes, we do, because we're always going to convert that. It's not a bit stream, it's a byte stream, right? Byte array, byte output stream. I think byte stream's okay. Um, this string represents a stream of bytes that can be converted into an icon. What is it? Control C? Oh, that's not it. What do I have as I always forget what my comment button is. Format Control Alt C. That's what I did. Okay, I just didn't want to do it that time. Oh no, I did Control Shift C. That's why it didn't work. So, package name, byte stream. We can just do another JSON object. And this is going to be JSON packet. Yes, this is so much better. I'm glad we did this. Because now instead of having to go by each specific constant, we can just load this into our JSON object to be equivalent to that. So now we don't have to care. So daily usage time, or sorry, this is icon. This should actually be icon byte stream. This should not be just icon byte stream. And usage time. Usage time is okay, right? For now. We can daily usage time, sure. Daily. Okay, cool. So that's from JSON, and we need a to JSON. So to JSON. Also, I want to make sure. Okay, cool. So let's see. I guess this is also important. Is this important? Converting this to a JSON object. Yes, we need to save this. We need to save this. So package name, open byte stream. Daily usage time. Like this. These are actually two separate things. So this represents the JSON object that we're going to convert into our local cache. All right, let me write this down. This it would go in here actually. This JSON object represents what's stored in local cache, and also what's stored in what's imported from a device. Okay, cool. And let's make that 80 characters. Also, I feel like I should, well, I don't know if that's better for you guys. Is that better? Can't tell. Like, I don't know if I should be, like, I don't know if I should be zooming in or out to help you guys read the code, because I don't know if you guys are squinting your eyes, so feel free to let me know if I should zoom in. And this is also like mega zoomed in for me, so I'll have to probably download a plugin to make it a little bit better towards the middle in terms of what's good for me and what's good for you, because then if I do things like this, it's kind of hard to like see more of the code. Okay, so I think this is good for now. And what we would do here, perfect. Okay, so now, where is it? We don't care about this. We're deleting this. We're not doing this in the blocked app list. We can save this, go over here. We do profile app dot from, wait, how do we do this? Profile app like this, and then app dot from JSON, and We just do it like this, right? Okay. Okay. So we don't need this for each anymore because we're not iterating by each key value. And we can say dot cast. We could say string dot dynamic. And we add that to the app list. Nice. Okay, cool. Now where is this? What did I do? Let's just delete this. Like, let's just have full faith that this is gonna work. What is wrong with this? Right. We need to also return app list, and we need this to essentially be a list of profile app. Yes. And let's see here. We want this to be format profile app. And it is complaining because now we need to convert this over. And okay, and then that way, when we get this, when we convert it in here, when we get it in here, we should have a separate, okay, image get, oh, how do I do it? How do I do getters again? Flutter getter. So pretty much I want to have a custom getter for an image. So essentially we have a icon byte stream that's always going to be a string. And anytime that we want to get the image, we're not actually going to have the image saved as a class variable. We're going to have it be a getter that converts the image every time. So it looks like that. So it's image. So it's the class. Okay, it's arguing because we have to import something. Let's import shelf. Why is it complaining about strings? What? Is string the wrong, no, it says string. Maybe I have the wrong, maybe I have the wrong shelf. No, it just hates me. Why do you hate me? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I have a colon? Is that it? No. Oh, I didn't finish writing my get icon, and it should be, I don't have it yet. Where is it? It's in this here. So icon by, and what do we need to do? So this cleans it up, and then it should look something like this. Okay. Are we allowed to do this? Okay, no. We need to do something. Get icon. Do this. Let's see what this is. Getters must be declared without a parameter list. Try removing the parameter list. What did I do? Oh, maybe this? I'll look it up. Children are not allowed to have... Oh, whoops. There you go. Fixed it. And uint8 list, it's looking for uint8 list. Is it looking for this? Yes, it is. All right, so when this happens, okay, when we want to grab the icon, it cleans up the icon byte stream. We don't want it to do that. We want it to be string cleaned cleaned icon bytes, and we want that to be a string. Oh, it's already a string, so we can just do that. And then it returns an image that looks like that. Yes. Yes, that looks good. And then what we can do here, I don't know why I keep scrolling down like that. One, we can clean this comment list, and we can also, I think we can get rid of this now. Actually, let's just comment it out for now because we don't know if we'll need it. We can get rid of this because we never need to clean this anymore. We can actually take this comment and bring it into here. And now we have icons, so now we can just do this, honestly. And we don't need the package name and the usage time. We can just clean these up. We don't need that. And then that's going to draw some errors here. And we can do, we can grab the app list, right? Because now we have an app list. Yes. So focus page model, make sure that this is done. And after it's done, we can do list profile app. I don't know if I imported. I did by accident. Dot. Where are we? Blocked apps. So another dot dot. All right, cool. Okay. Is that alphabetical? Yeah, I think so. App list is equal to focus page mode dot app list, and we can do app list. What is it? App list dot icon. Index. Oh, that looks so much cleaner. Wow. I'm so glad I made this change. Index dot package name. Oh, that looks so much better. No way. Okay, and we can just do this because we have an app list now. Okay, and we're gonna see if this works. And I knew it wasn't gonna work. Let's see why. List map string is not a type. List app is not a type of function result. I think I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna compile it so that it crashes, and then we can see what specifically what line it is. I don't know which line it's failing on. Maybe it's failing on this one. It's compiling, which I don't like, because now I don't really know where the issue is. Oh, because it was the old data was being saved, and so it had a map string still saved in it, like locally, I guess, or the state was being saved that way, and it wasn't converting as an app. All right, so now that this is all done, I'm gonna do something that we've never done before. We're gonna commit. No, I haven't done this. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's a semicolon in Windows, and we can this is a lot of changes. So let's say God, commit messages can be so troublesome sometimes. Installed app list with Android device or Android bridging. All right, let's see if that works. All right, 461 lines of code. You should never have CLs that big, but yeah, that works. And just to also give an understanding of how things are, this was when I ran it on, oh man, I hope that you can read this. Oh, there you go. This is when I ran it on a device, on a Pixel, and you can see that when this is on a real device, there's many more apps, and it's actually a lot better. It looks a lot more cleaner. Thank you guys for joining. I'm really happy with the progress that we made. A lot better than last session. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. If you made it this far, subscribe if you haven't, so that you always get notified when there's more content, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for coming. Peace.